Access Fort Wayne offers reflections of our community. Production facilities provided by Access Fort Wayne are a service of the Allen County Public Library. The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting organizations. For more information about creating your own television program with Access Fort Wayne, call 421-1250.
I'm Terry Doran. Welcome to Theater for Ideas, and what a special show today. First of all, it's the first public program on an idea many of us have to create a Fort Wayne Children's Museum downtown along the river. We'll be talking more about that, how it will benefit children, special classes for abused and children, and what makes today so special, besides being the first public program, is our guest, Kate Majorans from the Fort Wayne Dance Collective. She teaches there. And Patty Hunter, a poet and a host of a public access show, Patty's Page. And special guest, our performers, Chewy and Hillary. Patty wrote a poem, I believe called Children of the World, about child abuse. Chewy read the poem, was inspired, and I'll let him tell the story from there. And he and Hillary together wrote their own song, which they're going to perform for us. So thank you very much.
All right, well, thanks. And well, Patty reached out to me with this song that she had written, and it was in poet format, and she asked me to write a song about it. And it was kind of a different idea from what I normally did, but I really wanted to put myself in that position and, as an artist, do the best I could with it. And that song wasn't written completely by me. You know, I reached out to Hillary, which she put her part in it. She wrote her verse and her hook on it. So that's about everything I gotta say. You want to say something?
Yeah. Well, we started collaborating a while back, so we have 2 songs together, and he just gave me the idea, and then I just took that and put my own words in it and just put everything I had into that song. So I hope you guys like it.
Sad day when you realize a child no longer holds forgiveness. I don't believe we are born with kindness. I believe it's a seed that is planted on us and goes as we go. But without the gardener there can be no life. Like Michael Jackson said, we are the children, we are the world. We make a change today for a better tomorrow. Look, I'm here, don't be afraid to shed a tear. Tell me your problems, go ahead, I wanna hear. Look, you're my child, I really wanna lend an ear. If you want, I'll start, I'll even tell you what I fear. I'm scared of spiders, yes, I'm afraid of heights. I'm scared to lose you, the thought makes me wanna cry. Let's start fresh, let's put our differences aside. I could make it better, please just let me try. Tell you about my problems, now you wanna listen. All this time I needed you, always you were missing. Remember you would beat me after late night drinking. I had to go to school, the next next day I was limping. The teachers there would ask, I would tell them that I fell, cause no one there could help me. Who was there to tell? Forever I'ma hate you, with passion as I yell. I never will forgive you, even if I go to hell.
As many things that you've been through, just be strong and you'll make it through. We seen you fall and now we see you stand. You gotta go through this, you must understand.
To the parents, only time will tell, and you can ask for forgiveness, but forgive yourself, cause everybody makes mistakes, we should know that well. Somewhere, somehow, even an angel fell. Sometimes you get confused, sometimes you get lost. All the pain that you felt, all the pain that you caused. You weren't strong, you were weak, you don't get no applause. You give up and lose your child, that's a terrible cost to the child. All the pain, all the hate that will eat you alive, won't live long at this rate. If you don't want to live, take a step to your fate, but you do, cause your eyes are still wide and awake. I know life ain't easy, but you must understand, we only fall to get back up and then we do it again. Everybody will hurt you, some less and some more, but it's the ones that's really worth suffering for.
As many things that you've been through, just be strong and you will make it through. We seen you fall and now we see you stand. You gotta go through this, you must understand.
To not give up are probably some of the hardest words to understand. I mean, what does that mean? Perhaps it means that we have been given the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We just need somebody to tell us that everything is going to be okay.
As you get weak and you can't take the pain, just think of all the things you succeeded in gain. Those tears you cry will eventually fade. Now stand up and take control of the reins. You never know what life will bring us until we fight and make you see us. All you need is an open mind to see what you find through these hard times. I know you're in pain and I can see it. I believe in you, you can make it. It's change, inspiration. Now take it and embrace it. Just be strong and you'll make it through. You gotta go through this, you must understand.
That's a song. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What an honor to have this beautiful song premiered on Theater for Ideas and as part of our effort to create a children's museum. Does anybody have any questions, because they need to leave shortly? I'll just ask you, what's this song mean to you as artists, writers, singers? What's it mean? What are you trying to convey, and to you personally?
Well, to me, I wrote it as in a process format. Like on the first part of it, I thought of it as the hook, what engages in the person. That's why I wrote a situation, so other people can know that there are people that understand those certain situations. And the second portion of it was the intervention, because I feel like when you're caught in a situation, it's like you're in a box and you can't see everything that is around you. So sometimes you need intervention, you need somebody else to tell you what's in your way. And then the third part, which was her lyrics part, was the progress, which, you know what I'm saying, it's just basically keep moving forward regardless of the obstacles that's in your way. That's what it means to me.
I mean, what a powerful poetic image and beautiful performance. Just an honor, really, for both of you to be here, and I thank you profusely. How'd you guys meet, become a team, a songwriting team?
Okay, I'll say that story. Well, I met Chewy at a wedding. He was rapping, and I'm like, this guy is amazing. You could you can just feel the pain when he sings. Like, all his lyrics are so deep, and it's like, you relate to that. You've been there. And that's what his lyrics are always about. He puts his pain on paper and just sends a message to you. So I went to my friend that knows him, and I said, hey, do you think you can give me his number? Because I really want to, collaborate. And I haven't sang before. So I went to the studio for the first time with him, and I was nervous, and it was crazy. But then I saw him at Walmart getting some Mountain Dew, and I was like, Chewy, I want to sing with you. And then he gave me his number, and he was like, okay, come over. He comes on his little moped to my house, and we made up a song.
And here we are. What a beautiful song. The power of it is it's painful, but it's a message of hope, and that we all need help. And that's essentially what the Children's Museum is about. It would be for everybody, but there would be classes for abused children who have problems, and today's topic is the healing power of art. And so what better illustration of the healing power of art? Yes.
So do you guys plan on working together in the future, or you just have the two songs together right now?
That's up to him.
I got a couple ideas I still want to work with Hillary with.
And then when can we find you guys? Are you on the new CD, or?
Yeah, the first CD was mostly me. Well, actually, it was all me. But
Right.
The second CD is gonna be me and Hillary. She's gonna be in like 4 songs in there. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and we'll have this on the internet, so we can email it to you, and you can see the television version. Kate, you had a wonderful idea. Kate is new to Fort Wayne, just a few months really. Teaches at the Dance Collective. I've been involved with the Dance Collective, not as a dancer, but doing shows for a long time. They wouldn't still be in business if I was one of their dancers, put it that way. But anyway, Kate, you had a great idea as you were listening to them. Could you share it?
Yeah. I thought it was beautiful, and I don't know. As a dancer or choreographer, I get inspired by music. It's just, we all have our things that we start with, and I love to start with music. And I was just thinking, how cool would it be to collaborate? I could get some students together, whoever wanted to dance, choreograph a piece to go along with it, have them perform it live. I mean, I truly believe in collaboration of the arts. And first of all, when you collaborate, there are more artists, and all those artists are affected. There's more people involved. And then when you have something like this, you have people who, if dance speaks to them, they see it that way. If the music speaks to them, they see it that way. Or if the lyrics speak to them, it reaches more people, because there are more things, more versions of the art that are reaching out in their own way together. I think it'd be really cool. Like I said, my people talk to your people. Not really, I don't know, but it'd be good.
And we hope to have people like Kate and you, Patty, teach at this museum, where kids could come and be inspired by you. Not just learn, but be inspired. I think art is an inspiring part of our lives. It's obviously a powerful form of expression, but it's also a way of sharing, of inspiring, of people collaborating, as Kate said. So what a wonderful idea already. So this is what these shows are about, really, is to bring people together and get your ideas, and beautiful things happen. I mean, we did Patty and I and some other people did a benefit concert, which is where I first heard Chewy perform, and from there you heard this result. I just met Hillary, and I hope they will both be back. My brother played the flute at this benefit, and Chewy loved the flute music, and I believe they're going to collaborate on a rap flute piece of music. So this is the way it works. People share. Sure. This is Fernando, owns the Mexican newspaper.
I just want to congratulate both Hillary and Chewy. What a beautiful song. Thank you for inviting us to be part of the show. And it's a well-written song, beautiful. And I wrote a couple of the phrases. we are the children. We are the world. And the children of the world, you know, we come in so many different colors, so diverse. And you can hear my accent, but also, you know, foods. I mean, there's so many colors out there in this world. And sometimes because of the differences that we might have in languages, in our language or in our food or in our music, you know, we missed out in so many different, in the beauty of humanity, and that's what makes it beautiful. Also, I wrote down another one, A Better Tomorrow. That's what it says somewhere in your song. And the best one is Embrace It. Embrace it. And to me, it is, I mean, beautiful, and that's what we should be doing, embracing diversity. Fort Wayne, I would say, is very special, very unique. I've been here since 1978, and it's just such a beautiful city. We have a little bit of everything. We do not have a children's museum yet, but we will have, okay? And what a better way to be your dream along the river. We might not have the Pacific Ocean, we might not have the mountains, the Rocky Mountain as a backdrop, but we have beautiful rivers flowing with great people that embraces diversity. Beautiful song, Hillary. Beautiful song, Shui. Keep it up. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Gracias very much.
Thank you. Those were very insightful comments, eloquently stated. And Patty, this started out as your poem. So how do you feel as a poet to
honored.
see
I
what...
feel honored what they did. Thank you. Gracias, both of you. You're very sweet. And I'd like to thank Chewy for putting my song into his own words. And it's more his baby, you know, the song, and Hillary's. So it's beautiful. I enjoy this.
But again, it's that inspiration.
It's an inspiration.
You wrote the song to begin a poem, as a poem. They read the poem. They were inspired to write this beautiful song. So you all have a credit in it.
Well, unfortunately, these two have to go, so we're going to have to say goodbye to them.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I just want to tell the people, if you are looking at this right now, I just want to tell you guys that you don't have to hate the person that's abusing you. You have to forgive them. You have to forgive, and you have to learn how to forgive.
That's right.
Anytime you guys need to leave, just go ahead. But we're not trying to get rid of you. Like stay the whole time.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. You know, thank you.
Oh, you're great. Thank you.
Hope you liked it.
You're beautiful.
Caught my.
Thank you. Hi. My people will call you people. Hi. Thank you so much.
Adios, amigos.
Thank you guys
amigo.
so much.
Want to say something? No, I got it. Oh, okay.
Bye-bye.
So as I said, one idea and the topic of the show is to have people like Kate and Patty, Chewy, anybody really, share their talent at the Children's Museum and work with kids. And you know, maybe it's an hour a week. But imagine a kid that's never danced getting to work with a professional choreographer, dancer, you know, just the feeling of, wow, I'm worth this. She would come over here, you know, to work with me, because part of art is getting the confidence to do it. You know, you think, oh, look at these dancers, I can't dance like that. In a sense, that's not the issue. Yeah, if you're competing in some national program, but it's not the point of art is to compete. It's to express and to share. So, anything you'd like to add to that, Kate?
Yeah. I liked what you said about having to find the confidence. That a story comes to mind. I'm doing outreach programs at Weiser Park Elementary School through the Dance Collective, and I feel so lucky to be a part of that. Coming into it, I'm very new to Fort Wayne. As far as social landscapes go here, about certain areas of the neighborhood, people here, I don't know anything. So I went in, and one student comes to mind. I know she's been through a lot. I don't know exactly what. Some other teachers and people have told me, okay, this girl you might have a hard time with her. She's had a pretty rough life only in 5th grade. She's gone through a lot, and she's very reluctant, And the first day, I talk about, okay, let's learn how to stand like a dancer. Like, that's the most important thing you need to do. Dancers stand different, So you stand up tall, your chin is up, your chest is open, you're confident, and she couldn't even do that. And it's not because she can't physically figure out how to stand up straight. It's because the idea of just being proud she spends so much time like this. We all have our natural body language. It's just, movement is a natural form of expression, whether you know it or not, it is. And, we do a lot of creative movement, and I'll say, dance however you want, do whatever you want, but I'll give you a word, and you dance like that. So, I'll say words like fluid, sharp, big, small, anything like that. And there are always dancers that are kind of uncomfortable with the idea of improv or just dancing however you want. And, she's looking around, like she's seeing who's looking at me, like very uncomfortable. Lots of movements like this, just kind of, into herself. And, I would see her in the hallways, and I could see her watching other groups of girls. I could see her thought, she's thinking, oh, I can't be friends with them. Oh, I can't. In every way, like she has had something that makes her completely insecure, and unfortunately that Weiser Park particular class is over, but we just had a performance with the musical, and it was beautiful, it was amazing, and she's up there just dancing everywhere, huge movements, huge smile on her face, the most amazing transformation I've ever seen. And she wasn't the only girl like that. It was just, she was the biggest transformation I saw, from being not able to even look at me in the eye to speak with me, not being able to tell me what's wrong. Like, she'd come to class crying, and she wouldn't tell me anything. She wouldn't look at me, she'd go sit in the corner. And now she would say, you know what, so-and-so was kind of mean to me. And I'd say, why don't you go talk to them? And she would. She'd go up. She's beautiful. And not only socially confident, but to transform yourself from the inside out as a dancer. She was a beautiful dancer, too. And that's not, it's just in a dance perspective, taking away all that, somebody would look on stage and say, that little girl's very talented, and that's just because she learned how to express herself, to not be scared, to just trust her instinct. It was beautiful. It was just a beautiful thing to watch happen.
But again, she had whatever you want to call yourself. A teacher, obviously, but beyond that, a mentor, someone who cared enough to take those first days of, well, she's not very good, but hey, that's not the point, because you could see potential. You could see that it wasn't a matter of talent, it was a matter of confidence. If you've been brought up to believe that you're no good, worthless, can't do stuff, you pretty much start believing that. And that's why you need somebody else to reach out. And that's a powerful story, and it perfectly illustrates this topic, the healing power of art. That young lady was healed, in a sense, from being insecure, afraid, no confidence, to a talented dancer on stage. And what a great feeling it must have been for you to see this transformation of a girl that couldn't do the movement to a polished dancer in public, too. That's another thing. It's one thing to write songs in your notebook at home. It's another thing to come out here on television and perform them, but that's where the inspiration happens. Without that, you can't have a Kate saying, wow, let's get dancers and I'll choreograph a dance number to this beautiful song. Patty, if she hadn't shared her poem, this wouldn't happen in the first place. She does a show called Patty's Page, which is pretty much like a variety talk show. I've been on it quite a few times, and yet she's still on the air. So, but she's had a lot of guests. Like I mentioned, the benefit, well, a guest that works with Leonard Peltier, a Native American unjustly imprisoned, serving a life sentence. Anyway, Delaney Bruce works with Leonard. Patty heard of Leonard through me, took up the cause, had Delaney call in her show from, I think, maybe Nebraska. I'm not sure where she is.
Dakota.
She's out west,
South
Dakota. No, it's a western state. I think Delaney might have moved there from Nebraska. I'm not sure. I read her biography. But anyway, the point is she called in 4 or 5 different shows that I was on with Patty. And then Delaney became ill with cancer, no insurance. Who takes up her cause? Patty organizes a benefit. So this is what I mean. This is what I mean by inspiration. This is the whole idea of the Children's Museum, where talented, wonderful people like Patty and Kate can go and meet people and work with kids like the young lady at Weiser Park. There's definitely a need. I started a long time ago called the Fort Wayne Folk School, and I only realized I was talking to John the other day that who also does a show here, that this has a lot of the same kind of philosophy and goals of the folk school. The folk school just basically said, you want to teach a class, teach it, and sign up, and we'll get kids. They'll sign, well, they get kids and adults, and you can teach it anywhere. Your house, here in the library, riverbank, whatever. So this is pretty much the idea of the Children's Museum. As I said, it's a work in progress. Definitely would want artwork and kids hanging their artwork up. And I think once a few kids get word of it, you know, already it's growing. I mean, we're, you know, like today, it's just fantastic. All I did was have sense enough to recognize some beautiful singers and say, hey, let's do a show around here. So,
you're also
yes.
on Facebook, too.
Oh, yeah, we're on
Facebook.
Fort Wayne Children's Museum on Facebook. Has more information, some writings, endorsement from Mayor Henry. He said it shouldn't hurt to be a child. He told me in a private meeting. He said he would help us get a building. So we are aiming for a building downtown and to utilize the beauty of Fort Wayne, the river.
Hi, this question's for Patty. I'm familiar with Patty Hunter, and I know that she's won a poetry contest in the past. Was this the poetry contest? Was this the poet, or the poem, better yet, that they were singing about? And have you wrote many poems in the past?
I've written over 200 poems, lyrics for singers and songwriters and stuff. I have several songs out. I have something similar to what Chewy had sung that's out there, that was done in Nashville, but it was different words because someone else had changed it to her own way, but the same concept. But this is completely different. This is rap, and this is Chewy's own words, nothing to do with the other song. But it's his idea of what abuse is and how we can face up to it and be forgiven and forgive the person who did the abuse. So I had originally the idea of several of my friends were abused when they were young, and that hit home because they were my best friends, not here but in Canada. So and Terry was abused when he was young.
And so does a lot of your poems reflect on some of them?
It reflects on basically, how do you say, me wanting to help people.
Definitely wanting to help people, justice, fairness.
Yes.
And the poem that you're referring to that won the contest, she first read on a show we did last fall, about a year ago at IPFW, a forum called Extend a Hand, which was about suicide prevention. But it was a 2-day forum. I wrote a play and also did a 4-minute documentary, Dreams for Corey, about a tragic suicide of a friend's son. And his little girl was named Corey, so the title, Dreams for Corey. But Patty read the poem. We had a discussion following. And again, it was an example of what we're talking about. People, total strangers, most of them to each other, got up and shared painful stories of their lives, of, their father killing himself, or a brother, or next door neighbor. And Patty read that poem, so it was a sensitive poem, and justifiably won a prize. So again, you write something. I know I write and do these shows, and often you think, what is the point? Who watches? You try to think of one person. We're a big mass media culture with rating numbers and stuff, but really, what good does that do if reaching one person is far more powerful, like Kate reaching that girl at Weiser Park. Because when Chewy and Hillary performing today, there's no way ratings can match that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you help one person, they help others.
That's true.
And it spreads out like a pyramid.
It's true.
Very good point. I'll bet the young lady will now see some other young girl, 4th, 5th grader, and take her and say, hey, I was like you at one point, and I had this wonderful teacher named Kate. She showed me I don't have to be that way. No, that's so powerful. It's a horrible feeling of feeling inferior and no confidence and humiliated. Abuse is far more than just physical. It leaves you with all kinds of emotional scars of feeling worthless and inadequate. And I think that Joe, who was also responsible for Chewy and Hillary performing, and a good friend of Patty's and now mine, has. You want to say something, Joe?
Thanks a lot, Terry.
Sure.
Nice to see you again, Patty. Nice to meet you. Yeah, my name is Joe. I'm owner of Fresh Eye Promotions, and I'd like to say that it is a privilege working with all you guys on this. I'm just a poor guy that's trying to get something going, and it is very, very overwhelming to dive into a project like this. I know that it will help me build, and then I can take and spread my wings and help other people there on out. That's
what we're here for, to help many people.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I started to say when I introduced you, that the play I wrote, I sent to Joe. Joe's putting it on his promotional website.
FreshEyePromotions.com.
Okay.
What he said to me was, that's what we're here for, to help each other. That was my point, and what Patty just said. So, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, we here at Fresh Eye, we go out and actively seek people like Patty and Terry, and our motto is just please go out there and live, love, learn, and teach every day. So, thank you.
Joe.
Yeah, and Joe first recognized Chewy's talent, so as I said, we have him to thank also for their performance. And I guess the point is that nobody, I don't care how famous and rich you are, you have lots of people along the way making it possible. I'm sure you didn't just become a choreographer and a teacher, just said, oh, I'm going to be I'm going to do it. A week later, you are.
No.
She had lots of teachers. She had people, I'm sure there were points like, oh man, look at that, I can't dance like that, you know. We all do. You need somebody just say, first of all, that's not really the point. The point is you do the best you can, and from there, we'll see what it grows into. Does anybody else have anything you'd like to add or say, John?
Well,
This is John Dickmeyer.
I think that where we're going with this is the arts are the avenue to the soul.
Absolutely.
And I'm talking about all the arts, the plastic ones, the ones that involve music, dance, poetry, all of them are the avenue to the soul. And that's one area that in hard times gets hit in the educational system, but it's extremely important that we do this, because the best way to heal an individual that's damaged is to work through that set of emotions and work through those affective skills, because that's what makes real human beings.
Beautifully stated. Either one of you want to respond to that?
I mean, I completely agree. That's beautifully stated, just like you said. I mean, and why? It's proven arts heal. I mean, isn't it interesting how something just generated from creativity literally heals you? It's just, why not open something like the museum that helps? Why would you want to deny something like that, you know? Why wouldn't everyone want that to happen? It's a beautiful idea, and I love the idea that all the arts are important, because I've experienced, and I'm sure all of us had, sometimes there's almost a resistance, that may be a strong word, between arts, you know, because we don't all understand each other completely, but it's all the same thing, just in different ways, you know. Dance is the same as painting, is the same as musicals. It's just expression. It's expression, and it is all important, and it's all valid. And it's just like you said, with it maybe being cut in the schools sometimes, it's important to have some place that will just be there for kids, you know, that will help them.
To me, writing is like therapy. You get it out, whatever is in your heart, write it on paper, and people can sing it if they wish to. And I've had several people do that with several of my lyrics.
And that's the first and most important step, what it means to you.
Yeah.
Because I know you get bogged down, hey, I write this and nobody's going to read it, and you don't write anything more. You absolutely have to say, I write this because it's therapeutic for me, because it moves my soul, because it speaks to my soul. Now, hopefully, as we've seen today, with all the different inspirations and collaborations, that things will happen as a result. And sometimes they don't happen right away. You know,
Takes a while.
And sometimes you're trying and nothing happens, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call out of the blue, and things just start falling into place.
Yes.
Art is a universal language. It breaks down barriers among human beings. You can go to a country where you cannot speak the language, but her dancing would need no language for the audience to appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And as we talk about art, dancing, music, I say the easiest, but the thing that you don't need money and you don't need other people is writing. So we can all write and we can all draw. Even if you say, I can't even draw a stick figure, that's not the point either. You know, the point is to
how you
express
feel
yourself, and it helps you feel better about yourself.
In the beginning of the show, we showed a couple of pictures your daughter came and had drawn. I don't know whether they're going to show it again. It would be nice, but
I can get it while you're talking. But yeah, she drew it, I think, when she was probably in kindergarten. But she wrote "I love you," and it just had flowers and hearts, and I mean, it was simple. But it's so, I thought so expressed what we're talking about today. There's also an innocence to art. I mean, the most powerful of it does not worry about awards and recognition, because it speaks right from the soul, as John said. That's the power. In fact, it starts getting watered down when you start thinking, I got to do this because maybe I'll win an award if I change this or I do this. So, you guys are wonderful. Well, tremendous insights and sharing stories. Anybody else want to say anything? Yes.
I'd like to know just exactly how would you, such as people as myself and other people out there that are willing to help, how would they go about helping? How do you get in contact with these people, such as yourself or Joe or Fresh Eye Promotion, in order to be able to do this? Is there a website or?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we do have that Facebook page. I don't know if there's even a way that you can put stuff on there. We're close to having a website, but we can give you, I passed a notebook around for people to sign in. I don't even know where the notebook is.
They put
your name and address so we can contact you. But as far as contacting me, it's theaterforideas@yahoo.com. Theater for Ideas, all one word, spelled the American way, E-R. I don't remember why I always used to spell it R-E. I don't know how that changed.
I do know.
But,
From Canada,
I sound fancier when I do it that way.
Yes. Theaterforideas@yahoo.com. It's on the screen.
Oh, perfect.
That's good. That's wonderful.
We have
Thank
a wonderful
you very much.
director. Thank you for putting that up. Yeah, and then if you have specific questions for anybody, Kate, Patty, I'll pass them on to them. That's the easiest right now, rather than trying to get a whole bunch of emails. Yeah.
So thanks for coming to our city here in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
How long have you been here, and where did you come from?
I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska originally. I graduated from school in Kansas City at UMKC, their conservatory there, and then I moved here in July. I think it was July 15th. So the arts here in Fort Wayne have amazed me. I feel so lucky. I feel like I've dived in completely. Thankfully to the Dance Collective, they've really given me some opportunities to really reach out, and I'm really happy with the arts here, and I just want to get involved in every way I can, pretty much.
So what are you involved now?
I teach at the Dance Collective. Yeah. At night, and then I do some outreach programs through there, and then I dance with the Mikadtadze Dance Theater, which is a professional company here, which also is really big into collaboration. They really, their mission is to collaborate all arts, visual arts, singing arts, poetry, like you said, pretty much anything. So yeah, I'm very lucky. I'm very busy. It's great.
I don't belong to a poetry club yet. I'm embarrassed. I've been writing for 24 years. What? Try again. What you say?
You keep winning all the contests.
I just won. I just won one.
That's still impressive.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
That was cool. I enjoyed that.
But that's a really good question, because that's the whole point of this show, is to generate interest, generate more people to want to share talent, to be part of this. And in a sense, that's just what it is. It's just almost like a clearinghouse for people that want to share and have a place to go. You know, there's a lot of people that are talented, have stories to share. They really don't have, they aren't in a dance like you are, troupe, a company, and maybe they don't have the opportunity, whatever, but still have things to share.
There are a lot of talented people, very creative people here in Fort Wayne and surrounding area. We could do, as volunteers or staff, we could use their help.
Obviously on a day-to-day basis we'd have to have somebody running and opening the doors and all that, but I just really like the idea of people sharing talent and nobody be, taken advantage of, like, oh, Kate, come and teach, 20 hours a week, an hour a week.
Yeah.
Maybe even just every now and then you come and work with a child or a class.
It depends on how often you want to help out.
Right, right.
But
exactly.
do have a designated time, like once a week or something like that, or whatever they can muster up for that.
Right. And it will not compete with other organizations that work with kids. I mean, because we would want them to be part of this and send staff over and send volunteers and kids, and we in turn would send kids, to the dance collective. Should go over the dance collective. They've got this dance number coming up. So this is not a competition. Like we're gonna. It's a collaboration of everybody.
Could you show the artwork that Cayman had done for the audience?
I can, if you keep talking, I'll go get it. It's on a chair back.
No, it's already been.
Well, I can hold it up. Keep talking.
Well, I was going to say something. I guess as a teacher, this is just kind of a side note. I really think, I mean, there's professional dance where it's like very technical. I come from a conservatory, so it was very like almost hardcore, and very like, let's be really good ripped dancers, and I think that's great. But I as a teacher, I'm trying to, first of all, help the kids transform from the inside out, and then have a technical relevant base where they're actually getting substance that they can go out and be talented,
You have a question? Somebody? Oh, there it is on the screen. This is, this is Cayman's artwork. She didn't write that. It was what we, somebody taped that in the middle of it.
Mike, you need the mic.
But, excuse me, yes. I've only done this 100 times. I need a microphone. Okay, start over. Cayman's artwork, I think she was about in kindergarten, and she did not write what's taped in the middle of it, but it's so good I'll read that. Here's another one she did more recently, which is self-portrait. Probably she did that a couple years ago. Can you get a picture of that one? Yeah. It's my daughter Cayman. And what I tell her is, the one thing, well, try to tell her a couple things, but one is just, be a writer, be an artist. She takes dance lessons. Art will always be your friend throughout life. Yes, you can be frustrated and you can't get the poem the way you want it, but it will be the one constant that will not let you down. So I try to, and she enjoys it. She enjoys dancing, and whether she becomes a teacher like Kate, who knows? But right now, it enriches her life.
Does she still paint?
Yeah.
Does she?
Yeah, she does classes. I'm going to read, though, what this says. Again, I didn't write it. See, in the whole picture, she wrote, "This is a little child, I love you." That's the dog, Dottie. I mean, it's just so simple. Some flowers, some hearts, but it just expresses love, which is really, I guess, what we're talking about, that you care enough about other people and yourself to share talent, share stories. And this is what this says. If I had my child to raise over again, it's not specifically about art, but it's certainly about raising children to enjoy and embrace art. If I had my child to raise all over again, I'd build self-esteem first and the house later. I'd finger paint more and point the finger less. I would do less correcting and more connecting. I'd take my eyes off my watch and watch with my eyes. I would care to know less and know to care more. I'd take more hikes and fly more kites. I'd stop playing serious and seriously play. I would run through more fields and gaze at more stars. I'd do more hugging and less tugging. I'd see the oak tree and the acorn more often. I would be firm less often and affirm much more. I'd model less about the love of power and more about the power of love. But really, it is a lot about what we're talking about. Affirm. I keep going back to your story, but if you had criticized that girl at that very tender point where she was struggling to even do simple, basic things, she would have never come back. You affirmed her as a dancer, but also, probably more importantly, as a human being. And as Joe had said, in the email he sent me, this is what we're all here for.
Young children do need lots of love and attention and bringing up, to be brought up, positively. Instead of being negative. There are people out there who abuse their children by being negative. Put them down all the time. There's bullies out there and all that. And that's why we're here.
And a lot of abuse, I know in my own situation, is frustration because you haven't achieved whatever you think you should have achieved in life, and somebody's got to take the blame for it. And
that's the abuser.
Yeah, that's the abuser. So this, what we're talking about, addresses both points of view. The child who is having a rough time, but maybe the adult, and it doesn't have to be an adult, it can be another kid that's doing the abusing. They need help too. And you can't solve everything, but you throw out an idea, and I'm just thrilled to hear such eloquently stated ideas shared by all of you. You're a terrific audience and terrific guests. I think we have about 5 minutes, so anybody, we had some other panelists scheduled, a young teen drummer whose mother homeschools her, and I thought, she's going to teach classes or volunteered. And also an artist from Kindleville, but she had a class this morning she teaches. But she is a great embracer of art as a healing process and teaches classes. And so at some point she'll be here. And she's going to do a mural with kids. And Joe found a gentleman that's going to donate, Doug Mackey. Let's give him a credit. Has told me he wants to be involved and will donate the supplies, the paint, the board to do the mural. So that's getting closer and closer to a reality. And who knows, maybe we can do some, they paint it, some dance or music or, anyway, that will happen, probably in her studio. She owns a studio in Kindleville.
What will happen in November 17th?
Well, our next show, we have 2 planned, one today, and the second one, this one, of course, focusing on art, but we've talked a lot about therapy, too. Because it's what we're... But the second one, I have a friend named Dottie Fuentes, who's actually the stepmother of Cayman's nephew, Leighton. And she's a therapist, mental health therapist, wonderful person who is a strong champion of this idea. She was on Patty's page. You can watch that show on Facebook, YouTube. Watch Dottie talk about the Children's Museum. And she has put together 3 other panelists, all of whom are therapists. So that show, she had said something when I was meeting with her that I just loved. She said, we should wrap our arms around these kids and heal their pain. And in a sense, that's what you did with the dancer. That's what we're all talking about. And so that's what I'm calling the show. And one of the panelists, and this is her show, she got the other 3 panelists, has written a book about surviving childhood trauma. And I'm looking forward to contacting him and getting more information. So those seem to be 2 major themes we would be dealing with in the Children's Museum. And again, I met Dottie. I've known her, but I ended up sitting next to her at a Rock the Plaza concert by sheer accident. It was dark, and I couldn't even see who was sitting next to me. And her husband, Leighton's dad, Leighton's stepmother, said that'll be $10 for the seat. I thought, oh, check's in the mail, and it turned out I knew him. Anyway, from that chance meeting, Dottie and I have talked, and she's put this show together. So I need to get some water. Sorry.
I'd like to thank Terry Doran for putting on this
Go ahead.
discussion that we have here today. What we are trying to convey to the audience is that we need help to help the children who have been abused and or neglected or are in poverty. This Fort Wayne Children's Museum is going to be for the kids. So thank you, Terry Doran.
Oh,
thank
you.
And he made me co-producer of the show. Anyways.
Well, she deserves it.
Yeah.
Her poem started it. She got the crew.
Yeah.
So, and we want to emphasize the Children's Museum will be open to everybody, all kids.
Will be classes.
And I think that combination too will be powerful. That you step out of the shadows and you feel part of. I don't like the word normal. I don't know what it is, but I'll say normal life. People that aren't suffering abuse. And abuse takes many forms, but we'll end on a positive note. We have a couple minutes, so Kate, what would you like to say in closing? You've been so good today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I feel lucky to be a part of this discussion. It's neat. You know, I feel like every day I meet more people here in Fort Wayne that just are passionate about the arts and passionate about helping people, and I couldn't be happier that I've ended up here, you know, and I want to help in whatever way you ever need, you know, and you guys were a great audience, and it was great to meet you all. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, it's certainly our luck that you came to Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Sitting here. Anybody want to make a closing comment? This is your chance.
We have about a minute.
Gone. Well, I want to thank our audience for being here. I want to thank our crew putting up the chairs. Certainly Eugene, our director, he had to work so hard, and we had some technical problems with the sound earlier. And especially our guests, Patty and Kate. And I had never met Kate. I invited Liz, as I said, was a longtime friend, and Liz wanted to come. She teaches a class this morning, and she sent Kate, and it was just delightful. Thank you. Thank you, yeah. And I really hope you go home and say, wow, I enjoyed that. Not like I got stuck with that.
No, it was great.
I know, no, you
it
are.
Was great.
You've been very, very good, everybody. And some really eloquent statements from the audience. So I'm just going to wrap up. Thank you all. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with more information. And I'm Terry Doran. You've been watching Theater for Ideas, the healing power of art. Thank you very much.
Take a bow.
Copyright 2010, so it's supposed to be copyright. Oh, right.
Probably get 2010. That's all right. Oh.
Oh well.
Oh well.